feel like this fits more Twilight. It's still too upbeat and nice.
Rain drizzling on the windowsill. The gray skies of Seattle. The terrible foolishness of Forks, Washington State. Makes you want to fall asleep.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Let's Do a Podcast. I'm Ryan. Let me wake up my co-host.
I'm Anthony.
And hold on, spider monkeys. We got another one.
Oh no!
We got
another
another
one.
We got a new moon.
I have to wake myself up after this movie.
That's no moon. All right.
Oh, I wish there was a battle station to blow this movie up.
Of course, obviously, we do beer, which we're doing things a little bit different for beer. Because I went to a local watering hole where they have stuff from all over. So I got a mix pack. So we're going to share two different beers. So
beer not from Texas.
I know. I'm actually kind of excited because I know at least of one of these breweries. And I saw this one. And I was like, this sounds very good. So.
That's heresy, my friend.
So
I will drink it anyways.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, everybody. All right. What are we drinking first, Anthony?
So it looks like what we were drinking first is we were drinking Nelson's Revengeance. Wahaha. Oh, this is really cool. Can art on the back there.
Yeah.
If you can really make that out. Zoom it in on your Zoom screens there.
Yeah, everybody look closely.
Nelson's Revengeance from Mason Ale Works out of San Marcos, California, in a collab with Beer Zombies Brewing Company in Las Vegas, Nevada. So it says absolutely bursting with Nelson. Poor Nelson. This collaboration single hopped IPA. I'm guessing it's Nelson hops. With our friends over at Beer Zombies is exploding with the gooseberry and tropical flavors that Nelson is known for. All late edition hops and dual dry hops also get rid of any potential bitterness, lending to an absolute juice bomb of a hazy double IPA. My God, I'm excited for this. Flavor profile is tropical, hoppy, sweetness, mouthfeel, and lychee. Ooh, I do like some lychee. But it is 8% alcohol by volume and 0 IBUs, which they said it's not bitter at all. So I'm really curious for this, how it's gonna go. Some of this Las Vegas beer, rolling the dice.
That's about right. Even.
Yeah, that's all good.
So, yeah, again, I love that can art so much. It's so cool. But you can watch our podcast on Partycast Network anywhere. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and also Let's Do a Podcast.
Yeah, Let's Do a Podcast. You watch a podcast.
Yeah. So
or listen to a podcast.
I mean, as soon as I opened it, the smell fantastic.
Oh yeah,
it smells so good. Wow.
Hells yeah.
Yeah. I could drink this way too fast.
It's definitely not got that bitterness. I do like a little bit of bitterness on the palate there. It's definitely not there, but I am not complaining. I definitely getting the lychee flavor. So.
Oh my gosh, it's so juicy. I mean, so juicy.
Mm-mm. Not like that.
Okay, I'm gonna have to pace myself. I really want to drink that way too fast. So we're sharing this one because listen, these are expensive beers because they're not from around here. They ain't from around here. So yeah, we're sharing this one, and then once we pull the other one out, or before we pull the other one out, we'll review this one and talk about it.
Recently, you can't mail alcohol. Did you know that?
Yes.
I did not know that.
I attempted to one time. They caught me and flagged my account, so I couldn't ship anything for a long time.
Really? Was it the post office or FedEx or what?
Yeah, post office.
Really?
Yeah, which I guess the post office shares with FedEx and everybody too.
Are you on the watch list now?
I was on the. I'm not anymore. It was like a 1.5-year ban or something like that.
The ATF come visit your door.
Yeah, and I only knew that because I went to go like return something and like ship it back to like whoever I bought it from, and they're like, "Oh, we can't take it from you. Your account's been flagged." I'm like, "What?" It's like shit.
Yeah. It's I learned this. My dad bought some vodka here, and he was flying back home. So the whole thing where you can't bring more than 3 ounces of liquid on there. So he had his whole thing of vodka, and so we went to go ship it back, and then he told them Like, oh yeah, it's shipping this bottle of vodka. And as soon as he said vodka, they're like, nope, we can't ship that.
Yeah.
So,
That's why you say, I can't remember what it was. I think I said it was salsa or something like that.
you just straight up said
Yeah.
it's something else.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I knew.
Was there salsa in there?
No.
Should have put salsa in there so you weren't lying.
Well, the thing is, like, if they were to swish it around, it just sound like a bunch of salsa moving around. So that was my idea. It didn't work actually because one of the cans exploded. And even though like I wrapped it well, I think it exploded enough where it tore the bag open. It was such a mess.
A bag of beer.
Yeah, a bag of beer. But yeah. So again, we'll sip on this. Is there anything you want to add about this before we move on?
Don't mail beer.
Don't mail beer.
Yeah.
So event time. Let me look at my little calendar. I want to make sure I don't do too much far off of.
Come on, grab your phone.
So we are on. Oh no, I hit too many buttons. We are in North Texas Beer Fest right now.
Oh yeah, what day is it today?
It's the 13th today.
13th today.
Yeah, so that is the 9th through 18th North Texas Beer Week. So honestly, just look up most. You can again click on the show notes, the Beer and Big D. It should show up a whole list of like who's participating. But most of your breweries, you can look them up and they'll say what they're doing for North Texas Beer Week. They usually have a really special glass for it too, which is pretty cool. Let's see. We also got here's all the October fests that are happening this month.
They're in the next week or two.
Yes. So we got
definitely start making your plans there. And if you got to buy tickets, go ahead and start getting your tickets if you haven't already.
Yeah, because in a few days we got the Addison Oktoberfest.
Tell you what, I've already this is like September 5th, and I've already bought my tickets to Oktoberfest for the Fort Worth Oktoberfest. So.
Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah. Well, I'm also doing like their 10K, so.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you get free like 3-day tickets with the 10K. So.
Oh nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got the Addison in a few days, 15th through 18th, and then the Oktoberfest for Ash and Amber, Manhattan, Maple Branch, Oak Highland. I mean, again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about stuff because I'm going to talk about let's talk about the non-Oktoberfests because there's some events happening that are not.
Everybody's having Oktoberfest. Just assume that.
Yeah. So Community's doing the backyard pitmaster barbecue class. September 17th.
$82 per as well.
Probably. It doesn't show right here. The 8th anniversary party of Shannon is on the 17th.
Yeah. Go to Shannon. Shannon's freaking awesome.
Shannon is. I've been inside. I haven't been able to sit there and actually like drink and hang out, but I've gotten stuff to go.
They got a weekly run club out there. I'm about to go. Now it's starting to cool off. I'm about to go out there and start trying out running with those guys.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Go run in and have some beer. Hells yeah.
Pumpkin Fest over at Martin House is also the 17th.
It's like they have something with like pumpkin and French fries or
probably
beer in their beer.
Spocktoberfest over at Celestial.
Is it Spock?
Is
it Spock or Spooktoberfest?
I'm guessing Spock, just because of
SPOCK.
SPOCK.
I was like reading that. I thought it said Spooktoberfest. That's Spocktoberfest.
But yeah, I mean, I'm guessing because of their whole.
I thought it was
spiel of outer space, but yeah, there's not much on. Wherever you click on it, goes to.
What's the logo look like? I'm really curious.
Aliens. Looks like a little aliens.
Okay, I really thought it was Spooktoberfest.
Yeah,
Spocktoberfest.
And knowing Celestial, I mean, come on, they're number 2 on the Texas list. So head that way. I might head that way. Actually, I don't think I can. Yay, prior engagements. Another pitmaster thing. Man, everybody's doing the pitmasters. A beer dinner at White Rock Owl.
Owl's House.
Yes, Owl House and Brewery. That's on the 22nd, which is my birthday.
Oh,
I know my birthday's on the 22nd. People.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm not going to go too much further because I got to talk about stuff next week too.
3 Nations, Parker County.
Yep.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody's doing an Oktoberfest. You just look up the brewery you want to go to when theirs is, and there you go. Or just click on the show.
Go to the events page on beeringbd.com, and he's got it all laid out there for you.
Yeah. So
yeah.
again, this is the month to go visit a new brewery. Your favorite brewery. Just go out and hang out
Yeah,
at a
go
brewery.
try go. It's like everybody's doing like a Marzen. Marzens are freaking badass. I love a
I love a
Marzen.
good
Yeah,
Marzen.
it's a easy drink. It's a little bit heavier than your standard lager, but
Yeah.
man, get some freaking German lagers. Get some Marzen. I love this time of year because I get all these Marzens and I save them up and then I use them to make bratwurst throughout the rest of like fall, winter, and like into spring. Until I run out.
Yeah, it's good. Good stuff for sure. So there you go.
Also use it for chili too. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have to do some good brats.
Oh yeah.
We usually do it around this month, either this month or in October. We usually do brats and beer. So
My next trick is I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use the pickle beer to make brats.
ooh,
Yeah,
well, we
it may,
did
it
the
may turn out
Hawaiian.
really good.
We did the Hawaiian ones.
Oh, did we already use the Hawaiian pickle beer for brats?
Yeah, because we did it
Okay.
here.
Oh, that's right, we did.
They weren't bad, but
I saw a blue raspberry pickle beer today, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds
no.
really interesting."
I think with that though, if you want the full flavor, it needs to like soak for a long
Oh yeah,
time.
you got to marinate it in there. Yeah.
Because that was the thing is like we let it marinate for like maybe an hour before we cooked it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna let
So-
it sit overnight.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So we'll do that.
It's that time of year. I'm ready for some fucking bratwurst and
Yeah.
sauerkraut and
Oh yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be so good. I'm so
And
excited.
it's gonna be not 100 degrees outside. It was already like
Hopefully.
I actually ate outside today. I went to brunch with my wife and we sat outside and it was like 73 degrees outside. It was wonderful.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But I also like went out for a run yesterday and it was like 100 degrees. So
Yeah.
I can't decide.
Yeah, the weather's all over the place. And we're never sure if it's gonna rain or not anymore, apparently.
Hey,
Like,
at least it's raining though.
yeah, no,
It
I'll
didn't
take
rain
it.
for like so flipping long.
Yeah. And my backyard went from looking like the desert to all of a sudden it's a jungle now.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
guess I need to start cutting, get the guy out here to cut the grass. Anyways, I guess it's movie time. I mean, I've been trying to think if there's anything else we should talk about or pretend to talk about, but
We need to skip to the social media.
yeah. So, guys, thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh man, you can tell how excited we are to talk about this movie.
It's
This
a
movie is-
filler.
I would say this movie is connective tissue to kind of set up the rest. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the rest of these next 3 movies, but it seems like it's just kind of setting up everything that wasn't already set up in the first movie.
Yeah, it felt like a filler movie.
Yeah, it's kind of
So-
getting everybody in the right positions.
Do
Kinda,
your
it kind
little-
of feels like, well, no, it's unfair to say. It kind of feels like season 4 of Stranger Things, because season 4 of Stranger Things was good. So, season 4 of Stranger Things was just kind of getting everybody in the right place too. So,
Yeah, it's like, listen, if you're either Star Trek or even like the Orville, like there's episodes, they're filler episodes.
yeah.
It's nothing great. It's
But they're
yeah,
usually
there's
like, but these
there's
filler
still-
episodes usually like they use them as character studies and they reveal something about that character. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
really progress the story, but you learn something.
exactly, and that's what this felt like. Is like they're setting it up for the next movie for something to actually happen.
In this
Because
one,
you finally-
I learned that Taylor Lautner is a werewolf.
That's the movie.
Yeah.
So, anyways, you can read a little spiel over there, then we'll talk about it.
And people, even though we have cell phones and shit, people still can't fucking communicate. They still have these problems that should have been solved by cell phones.
Yeah.
But you get frustrated. Don't crush your cell phone with your hand. That's number 1 right there.
Seriously, I mean, what if people still need to call you so you don't go kill yourself?
Yeah, right. Ay.
Okay.
All right, so storyline time.
Oh yeah.
All right, so after Bella recovers from the vampire attack that almost claimed her life. Okay, so when I read this first time, I was like, oh, Victoria tries to come kill her. No, she goes and hangs out at Edward's house, Eddie, Batman, and Jasper, one of the other vampires. He's like Jasper, Alice, Ed, and Carlisle, and there's 3 others. I can't remember their names.
Yeah, I can't either.
But Jasper, the one who looks like he's gonna throw up all the time.
Yeah.
He literally does.
Yeah.
He like, I think she cuts herself like opening a present,
Oh yeah.
and so he like, okay, so like that happened in the first movie, and he was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
He's like, all right, I'm fine. But this one, he just like totally flips his shit out of fucking nowhere. Okay, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. But okay, almost claims her life, which again, it wasn't even that close.
No, it wasn't
She
at all.
looks to celebrate her birthday with, okay, after Bella covers from vampire attack that almost claims her life, she looks to celebrate. Okay, was there a vampire attack in the beginning of the movie that I didn't know about? That before the birthday?
No.
Okay, so because it says after Bella recovers from vampire attack that almost claimed her life, she looks to celebrate her birthday with Edward and his family.
Well, they might be talking from the last movie.
Okay, maybe it was okay. Was it that close?
I guess
All right.
it's hard to tell in this series because all of a sudden months go by and you're like, it feels like it's the next day, but based off of this, it kind of sounds like
Yeah, it sounds like it's like next day.
yeah, the next day.
Okay, so I thought it was the whole thing with Jasper. Okay, however, a minor accident during the festivities results in Bella's blood being shed. Okay, that's the whole thing. With Jasper,
Mm,
a sight that proves too intense for the Collins, who decide to leave the town of Forks. And she just ups and makes them move. Washington leaves Forks, Washington, for Bella and Edward's sake. Initially heartbroken is an understatement. Bella finds a form of comfort in reckless living as well as an even closer relationship with Jacob Black. Danger in different forms awaits.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That says something without saying anything. So
yeah,
but I was confused. I was confused about this. I thought the attack was the thing that happens in the movie, not the thing that happens in the previous movie. So
yeah, I'm really, I'm struggling to kind of think about exactly what to talk about
this
because
movie slid right off my brain.
yeah, and it's just like nothing. Okay, so yes, things happen. I mean, for one, okay, we were told that we need to talk about sleepless Charles here.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So
She,
the whole thing is like okay. So the Collins leave. Ed, he breaks up with her. He says that they shouldn't be together. They never should have been together.
yeah,
He's just like breaks it off.
yeah,
Which it's funny because they did this whole thing where they set up the Romeo and Juliet in the very beginning of the movie.
yeah,
So you're like, oh, they're mentioning that, so it's going to be some kind of like Romeo and Juliet
yeah.
type deal where it's like they say so stupid. There was a miscommunication and they kill each other, they kill themselves. It's like, of course they're going to pull that same shit, right?
Yeah.
So they break it off, and she like flips her ever loving shit, and she's like screaming every night. Her dad Charles, which again I'm Team Charlie.
Yeah.
Team Charlie, poor guy.
Yeah, he's the real he's the
That
one
guy's
that's truly going through the worst out of all this.
That guy's a trooper, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah, it's true.
But man, she's like screaming her ever loving like lungs out every
night.
Yeah.
For like 3 months it looked like.
Yeah, it shows that she's like depressed.
She sits in one chair for 3 months.
Yeah. And it looks like she doesn't even go to school. She never moved from the chair.
She never moved.
I will say the shot was interesting though, because I thought it was really interesting. It kind of kept painting around. But I was like, as soon as it got December, I was like, they can't do January again because January's going to look the same as December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, I was just like, apparently school is very optional in this city. So
it's a town of 3,000 people. So
yeah, they don't give a fuck if you show up to school or not. Like everyone's just like, meh, okay, whatever.
Yeah. But so she's freaking out. She starts seeing Ed whenever, because he like tells her don't do anything stupid or rash, just because like I'm not here anymore.
Yeah.
But she starts seeing visions of him whenever she does something stupid or rash. So of course she's gonna keep doing that shit.
Yeah.
And then she decides she wants to ride motorcycles because she rides motorcycles with some rando. I swear it was like a guy who was in one of the guys who was a bad guy in the show Gotham. At least he looked like that dude.
He probably did.
I don't know if it was the same guy or not, but he looked similar.
Yeah, the guy did look very familiar. I always meant to look him up, but I never did.
Also, one episode of The Office where he was a bartender. The commercial episode.
Yes.
He hit on Pam.
Yeah.
I think it was him. I'm not sure.
Probably. That's probably why it looks familiar.
Yeah. But they do that, and then like basically that's where she ends up starting hanging out with Jacob because she wants to build the motorcycles, and they end up having a budding relationship. She, who turned just now 18 years old, and he, who is 16 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Which I guess it's like the difference there is not that great. You always if you abide by the whole divide by 2 add 7 rule, that's fine. I will say the other subplot that's going on is she's like freaking out over her age. She's now like age wise, like or at least appearance wise, she's older than Ed
Yeah.
because like he like stopped aging at 17 and she's now 18. So she's like freaking out. There's like a scene where she thinks she sees her grandma and it turns out it's her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, it just kind of goes through this whole thing where she starts getting more and more close to Jacob, and then he pushes her away and doesn't want to hang out with her anymore.
Yeah.
And so she just like goes back to being depressed again. It's like forget hot girl summer. We're now in sad girl summer.
Dude, literally. It's just during all that, I remember just pausing. I was just yelling. I was just like, she can't go without a man. Like this is so. It's like it's so sad in the sense of just not that she's lost somebody, but just like, girl, like
I was like,
why do you have to find? And then like, okay, so whenever she finds out that he's a werewolf, and she's just like, it's too dangerous. I can't. Blah blah blah. All this shit. I had to pause and be like, wait. You were all for the danger with Eduardo over here, but for some reason it's not okay. And the kill, she's like, I'm not okay with the killing. I'm like, you want a fucking vampire, but it's like this whole double standard's not working here.
Yeah. It's like you hear yourself, right?
Yeah. You know what you're saying, right? Yeah. Like,
but like so it eventually gets around to where we get to it's funny because like the person who makes the most sense in the course of the movie is actually Anna Kendrick's character. She's like, you need to get your fucking shit together. Which I love that.
Yeah, she is the only smart one.
Which is like I'm just a fan of like Anna. I feel like Anna Kendrick plays similar characters in whatever movie she's in. Yeah. She has a very just a similar way she plays her characters, and I feel like that's just lended itself. And it's like, all right, I don't know what the fuck you're on. Like, you need to fucking get over it and just be normal.
Yeah, please, for the love of God, just be normal for a little bit.
But anyways, yeah, Jacob ends up being a werewolf. He doesn't want to hang out with her anymore. But then she figures out he's a werewolf and
has a problem with it.
And she's like, whatever. But it ends up like Jacob's like, I want you, and I want you to just tell the vampires to fuck off. The vampires come back, of course. And then,
because the sister saw just the image of her jumping off a cliff. And that was it.
But she's just like cliff diving.
Yeah.
But in a dumb way.
In a very dumb way.
And then we have our moment of miscommunication, which just drives the one of his uncle like had a heart attack and died. And so they basically says that Charlie, her dad, is setting up a funeral. He thinks that means that Bella died, and so he's gonna go off himself because of a miscommunication. Like, he didn't clarify. He's like, was it Bella? He didn't even ask, was it Bella?
Yeah, he just crushed his cell phone.
Yeah, no, it's like he could have been like, no, it's like a so and so. He died.
Yeah, and he's just like,
it was like Mr. Clearwater. He died.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go kill myself.
So one question would have solved it all.
Yeah.
My God, this fucking movie.
Yeah. All right, finish that little bit. Let's take a little break. We can talk about this beer. Open our new one.
This movie's stressing me more out. It's stressing me more out than it should.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like we're not even halfway done. All right. So Nelson's Revenge. What did you think?
Revengeance. Revengeance. You gotta have an extra ants there.
Panson.
Yeah. I liked it.
Yeah.
If I go to Las Vegas, I'm definitely gonna go try out the
zombie.
Your zombie.
Yeah.
Mason Ale Works. I don't know if I'll ever make out to San Marcos. I don't know where that is necessarily.
Hannah's going out that way, and they're flying back in a private jet. And be like, hey,
what kind of private jet?
I don't even know. Yeah,
I'm biased.
Yeah,
even though not that I rely on private jets very often, I'm just biased.
Yeah, I was just like,
as an aviation nut. So
take an extra bag and bring back some beer.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
All right, what's your rating on this guy?
I give it a 3.75. It's good.
I'm gonna give it the straight 4. I enjoyed this a lot. It's one. If I had a full glass, I probably still would have finished it. At least halfway before that. Like, it's so smooth, super juicy, real thick and juicy, and Very good. Very, very good.
I reserve that terminology for steaks.
Yeah. All right, let's open up this next guy,
All right.
which
right.
is.
Thank you, Nelson. You can sit over here.
Here you go.
Fractal. Fractal Strata Citra.
I don't want to read.
All right. I'm gonna crack this guy open here. There we go.
Yeah. So this
Roll
brewery,
that beautiful bean footage there.
this brewery is out in New York, if I remember right. Let me. Oh, you know what? I did have it up on Untapped, but I accidentally closed Untapped on my phone. Oh, right here. Yes. All right. So it is, of course, IPA 6.8%, 0 IBUs. We'll see about that. Equilibrium Brewing over in Middletown, New York. See, so fractional? Is that what it's called?
Fractal.
Fractal, excuse me. Strata Citra investigates the interplay between Strata and one of the new favorite hops, our hand-selected Strata. Our favorite involving hoppy, man. Oof. I should have probably eaten today. Let's see. I forgot where I even was. That's cool. I'm thriving right now. This is why I don't read.
Give me
Yeah.
Let me pick up the
Yeah. Here, I'll just hand you my phone.
There we go.
Yeah. This is why Anthony does the reading and I just do the rifting.
Fractal Strata Citra, Strata slash Citra investigates the interplay between Strata, one of our new favorite hops, our hand-selected Citra, our evolving hopping processes, and simple pale malt base. Fractal Strata slash Citra pours a bright and hazy yellow, releasing complex aromas and flavors of both tropical and dank passion fruit, rainbow melon. Rainbow melon sounds like something from Stardew Valley.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Mango, lime, Pez. Like Pez?
Pez?
Like the chalk candy?
Ugh.
And a whiff of sticky green.
Sticky green.
I think I know what that is.
Buddy.
A resin. It's definitely that. Resinous,
Yeah.
creamy mouthfeel and a firm but rounded bitterness finishes with our signature hashtag EQ juice finish. Did they put vape juice in this? There might be vape juice in this.
Vape juice in it. Man, I need to see if
there
I can.
Could be vape juice in this.
I need to find it, but there's one brewery, I think in New York, that puts broccoli in all of their beer.
What the?
It's actually really, really good.
At least it has iron in it, I guess.
Yeah. No, it was actually better. Like I remember happening. I was like, oh, this is amazing. So first sniffs.
Dank. Definitely dank.
Yeah.
Got that dankness there.
Yeah, you can definitely smell that.
Get up. Come on, get down with the dankness.
Ooh.
It's definitely got the sticky green in there.
I enjoy that.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's definitely an American IPA. It's not got that same juiciness to it as the last one did. But still pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's another one of those where like you smell the smell versus the taste is a lot different.
Yeah.
You smell it expecting honestly like super, super dank. But honestly, whenever you drink it, it doesn't feel as heavy as it smells.
Yeah.
So
but let's get back to this movie. Okay. So they end up in Italy.
Oh yeah.
What's his face? Trying to kill himself.
Yeah.
Michael Sheen is there. He's the head vampire, the Volturi. I'm wondering if they're going to be important later. Dakota Fanning is there.
I would imagine so.
Dakota Fanning is. Did you know Dakota Fanning was in this movie?
Oh.
Yeah. She's the one who like inflicts pain on people.
That didn't look like her at all.
The little blonde girl. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, that really didn't look like Fanning.
Her. Huh. Yeah. Oh, also, I skipped over this. Apparently, Victoria, the redhead vampire, is still out there somewhere. But like, she's just kind of like out there. They're like chasing her around, but she is like barely involved.
Yeah. It's
like this like hanging plot thread. It's just kind of
they set it up where it seems like that's the main thing of this movie,
but then she's not.
Yeah. Then it's just like, okay, they just the how do we say lions? It's not lions. The werewolves are just chasing her around.
Yeah.
we're supposed to care about
They
this.
keep saying they're chasing her to Canada, but she keeps coming back. And they're like, we have no clue what she's looking for. So like, and Bella's like, they're looking for me, dummies.
Yeah, and then they still don't really protect her.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay.
And nobody was keeping an eye on her. They just thought she would stay in her house.
Yeah.
Like, do you know me?
Yeah, come on.
But anyways, they end up in Italy. Mr. Edward's gonna kill himself by like showing himself. That's the only way he's gonna get these guys.
I like
to kill
how
him.
we always say Edward's name different.
Yeah. Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah.
She ends up catching him just as he's about to step out and show his spray
Glittery
tan.
himself. Yeah.
His show off a spray tan. And they get to hang out with them a little bit. It turns out, so this is probably going to be important later. It turns out she's immune to any powers that the vampires have.
Yeah.
I'm curious how that far that goes, because like there's like that super strong vampire. I'm curious if she like would be good against like the super strength guy.
Yeah, you
or
can't break
just, like,
me.
or if he would just like broken over knee like Bane.
But the thing is, yeah, I mean, that's actually a good thought, because all of them are like super fast, super strong. So what, does that not affect her if they like hit her? No, but it does.
That's
it does affect her.
Yeah,
because Edward last movie pushes her.
Yeah.
Oh no, was it this one?
Yeah, he pushed. Yeah, it's this one because he pushed her out of the way, and she
flies.
She flies into the vest, and that's when she cuts her arm.
Yeah, which is the stupidest.
Which causes the fucking issues.
Edward, get your head on straight.
Yeah, throw her into again toxic relationship.
Yeah. God, you're such an asshole. Yeah, so obviously things do affect her, but I guess it's more of like the mental powers.
Yeah,
I guess
it's like in Futurama. You remember in Futurama where they say they can't hypnotize Fry because his brain waves are like not like normal brain waves, but they're patched together by like bad brain waves or something like that.
I've never seen Futurama.
Oh, you gotta watch it, man.
I know, it's on my list.
Thing of the week, Futurama.
There we go.
But anyways, yeah. So she's immune to vampire stuff. Anyways, whatever. They go back to what? So next thing we know, she's sleeping back in Forks. She makes it back. Like I guess she was gone for like 3 days. That was like a short little.
Right, turn it into a vacation. Come on.
Yeah. But it really comes down to it. The end of the movie the movie just kind of ends like a freaking like fart in the wind, because like nothing happens after that.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm back now. That was that whole little climax there in like at the end of Act 2.
Yeah.
There's no Act 3, so the end.
Yeah, it
like there was like a little like a lingering kind of like Jacob comes like, I don't like you, Edward, and Edward's like, well, I'm okay with you, Jacob. So
yeah, that little back and forth was stupid.
Yeah. And like I think they have like a little like a play fight there, and she's like, you can't hurt each other without hurting me.
Yeah, which I'm like, I mean, they could. Edward could push you out of the way again.
Yeah, and then they can just like totally kill each other.
You know that you're against a werewolf and a vampire. I'm pretty sure you're outmatched here, you dummy.
Oh yeah. But yeah, the thing that killed me about this movie was like there was just no climax to it. It's just like you got to the end of the movie. That like it's either that or it's like kind of the end of like the last Lord of the Rings movie where you get to the end of the movie, but then it just keeps going.
Yeah.
So it was either like that or that the movie just kind of like Act 2 climax and then it peaked and then everything just kind of stopped and then it was just like next 30-40 minutes nothing happens.
Yeah, it almost bothered me how
these movies are 2 hours each, by the way.
Yeah. So it started off with like it felt like this was going to be oh my gosh, why is everything leaving my head? Not Edward, but
Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob. I thought it was going to be all his story kind of thing, kind of like what we did with Edward.
Yeah, which was a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and it was, but then all of a sudden it took the hard turn.
Yeah.
That I felt like wasn't necessary. Now, I mean, I think listen, that they kept Veronica, what's the Victoria.
Yeah.
They kept that story just so we all know.
Yeah, she's still out there somewhere.
That she's still after her. Cool, that's fine.
Yeah.
That like it's like whatever.
And it's not that she has anything against Bella. She's out to kill Bella because she wants to get back at Edward for killing her boyfriend, lover, whatever. But Edward's not even the guy that killed him.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, Edward just But anyway, so it just I think
And how did she find out about that? Anyways, like
Who
the
knows?
Laurent was not there, and she was not there. So how did she figure that out?
Just guessing, I guess. But yeah, I think that's kind of like my one of my problems and kind of just issues was like how it started was like, oh, cool, we get the Jacob story. You get some of it, and they're like, and enough.
Yeah, the end.
Yeah, and you're like, all right,
Moving back to our main
yeah,
story.
let's move towards this. And you're like, oh, okay. And then yeah, all the going through the woods and finding Victoria and
I thought it was really interesting because they focus more. They alluded to a little bit the story of like the Kyoto tribe and all that stuff living
yeah,
in and their life on the res in the first movie, and they got a little bit more into it. Now it's more of the fantastical elements of that. This is like a real a real people who live in that area there, and they're like a nationally protected like indigenous tribe of the Washington state area there. Really curious what they thought of their portrayal in
yeah.
this movie.
I wanted more of
Yeah,
it, honestly. Like it, I thought it was really interesting and kind
yeah,
of fun, and I wanted more of that.
yeah.
And that's what I thought we were gonna get till they just were like done.
Off to Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
thought it was
don't know.
cool seeing Michael Sheen though. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, that's why it felt so
Dakota
filler.
Fanning too. Yeah. But yeah.
That's why it just felt so filler of just
Like
like
introducing all these concepts.
it was
And,
quickly
yeah.
of like, okay, we need to quickly get the werewolf story. Okay, we need to quickly get that like, hey, they're still after her, and we need to quickly be like, oh, and this is how they come back together. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. We got all this together. Let's just cut it off here for the third movie. It's just how it felt. That's why it's like
Maybe that's why we have to watch 5 movies
yeah.
because I realized that this is not working.
Yeah, and they're just like, okay, we need to do a few more fillers to get our point across for this next movie.
Yeah.
So,
This movie made more than the first one. So,
and it got a higher rating than the first one.
I don't know if I agree with it.
I was surprised when I saw that this got a better rating than the first one. I was like,
So
what?
am I missing? What am I missing?
But I mean, I think it's because eventually, like Bella as a character got better. I enjoyed Bella more this movie than the first one.
Did you?
I did,
Lot more
even though she
yelling.
still pissed me off, and just like her craziness. But I feel like she had more life to her in a sense. She wasn't as bland, and you felt like she was already dead inside.
I felt like she got more dead inside.
Well,
from
I
this
mean,
movie.
but like whenever she started hanging out with Jacob, like I felt like she became. I don't know.
I can see that. Yeah.
I just felt like there was more of a character there
Yeah,
than
she started
the
becoming
first
more
time.
of a real person.
Yeah. Because that was our complaint about the first one. It was just like she was so just like blank and didn't really play a part and was kind of just like reading the script. But this time it kind of felt like she was actually like embracing maybe the character more.
Yeah.
And even like I feel like most of the actors kind of just like maybe they were more comfortable. I don't know. Maybe they changed the way that they were writing more, but they realized maybe they went back, watched the first movie, were like, oh, this didn't go too well.
Yeah.
Thank God people still liked it. Let's change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So there are positives to this one.
I think the thing that probably people enjoyed more was there's the addition of the love triangle now,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think this is where you started getting like very strong vibes of like Team Ed, Team Jake,
Yeah, which we're team Charles.
Team I am Team Charlie,
Yeah,
but like
Charlie.
not for like as a love interest. I'm just like Team Charlie because he like just deals with some shit.
He's the real hero out of all of this. I don't care what anybody else says.
Yeah.
So
that guy deals with some like dumb shit, and he just like he takes it on the chin like a fucking champ.
yeah, I thought I don't sleep well. That poor guy.
Yeah, he was like sleeping on the couch the entire time. He's like I need to get away from this.
Yeah.
And
And then
he still hears
yeah,
it.
then at one point he was like, "You're going back home."
Yeah, he's like you're getting out of here. I'm
He's
sorry.
like-
I got a
she's like,
job to
no,
do."
no. Like she fights it, and he's like, "All right,
Poor guy.
all right." What did you dislike the most?
What did I dislike about this movie? What I dislike about this movie was, man, what did I do? There's like so much to choose from.
Oh, I know.
The dang. What did I dislike about this movie?
Dead air is pretty great.
I know it's.
I can go if you need
Yeah,
me
you
to.
can go ahead and go because
All right.
I'm like having a hard time picking.
I mean, so it's something that we've talked about, but it is just the mixture of it felt like not a lot happened. Now, a lot did happen in the sense of like he became, we saw him become their werewolf. Like we saw the main things, but just there was so much nothing in this at the same time. Again, filler. Where it's just like it just I just felt like maybe they just rushed it too quick. They just thought, maybe let's keep on this high. Like everybody's loving the first one. Let's quickly get this one out. So maybe like I don't know. I just felt like there was just something missing, or they just didn't care to go too much. They just didn't go much into Jacob's story, I feel.
Mhm.
And just that whole background versus I felt like we got so much of the vampire background. I know that's one of my biggest issues. So it makes it harder to be team Jacob because you get this much of a movie, like barely much, like barely half of the movie, but team Edward gets his own novel. Like I just feel like he
I
got
was like,
like
it's
it's
like
just not fair.
it's like a Jacob sandwich with like 2 slices of Edward
Yeah.
there going on there.
Yeah, if you want like if the whole thing is to get people rooting for one character versus another, you pretty much have to give them equal time
Yeah.
so you can create a different kind of bond watching with that character. But I feel like they just didn't give it to Jacob.
Yeah.
And they quickly were like, "Cool, let's knock that out." Like, "Cool, Jacob's done. Get all this other filler stuff in to go into movie 3." So,
Yeah.
I don't know, that's kind
Yeah,
of
it's
my
just kinda getting
issue.
everything set up for, episode 3 there.
Yeah, and I
So,
really think they should have spent pretty much the whole movie really focusing on the whole Jacob, like because you could see just his background, his culture. Like it doesn't even have to really involve Bella
yeah.
that much. Like I don't know. I just felt like it didn't give me what I thought we were gonna get.
Yeah, and the thing I didn't really care for this movie, it didn't really give, it kind of like started in the previous movie, but it kinda continued in this one just, for some extent. I think they recognized this was an issue, and they tried to, like, remedy it, but it just didn't do a very good job. And it's the fact that the main character, Bella, she just doesn't have much agency in the movie. You mentioned earlier, she's just, like, utterly dependent on having a guy in her
She
life.
has to, yeah.
Yeah, and like, you can see that she's transitions from, like, a girl who's just, like she does her own they described it in the first, like, storyline synopsis where she's, like she didn't really care to be hanging out with all the other cool kids or whatever, but, like, as soon as she meets Edward, she becomes, like, utterly dependent. She loses all ambition for her own life.
Yeah.
She loses anything that she loses any goals or, anything that she wants. It's just, like, she's utterly dependent on just having, like, somebody to kind of fill that empty void in her life. And so as soon as, like, Ed leaves, uh, she has to, like, replace it with something. She
Yeah.
can't because she's utterly incapable of sustaining herself, and it's just like they try to I think they try to show that she has some agency and that she's, like, willing to do these extreme things, but it's unhealthy, toxic behavior.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Uh,
not
it's
not
it's
good.
it's not good. And I know and they do make it apparent that this is just, again, unhealthy behavior. So at
Yeah,
least they don't say, "Hey, this is a good thing. Go do this, kids."
yeah. They
Um,
they acknowledge it's bad.
but they don't acknowledge the fact they make it but they do make it look good that she's like, okay, she's going from relationship to relationship because she just can't survive. And like if she doesn't have like a guy in her life, she's just utterly and like completely despondent and depressed.
Yeah.
And it's just like unhealthy depiction of just relationships. I think
Yeah, and I mean, I feel
she's
like
like utterly codependent.
that's the common
Yeah.
like complaint with most even like movies, like romantic movies or even like princess movies where it's like the whole plot is the prince coming to say like
Yeah.
that's like I feel like that's always been the issue for a long time. And so seeing a movie like this, it's just it kind of harps on of like why are we even making movies
Well,
that's unrealistic where it's like we should be happy that she can have a life outside of a man. Like,
yeah.
come on.
So I think it's funny because they don't even like sugarcoat it because like as soon as he leaves, she's like having like a utter freak out over it. So like they don't even
Doesn't move
sugarcoat the
for
fact
3
that
months.
yeah, like she had an utter freak out and like depressive episode. They don't even sugarcoat that part and then show that like the negative effects of her behavior. but they don't make it look bad that she's like going back to having somebody in her life to like sustain herself.
Yeah, they try to make it look
Yeah.
like a good thing
It's
that,
like it's a good
oh,
thing that
she
she's going
found
back.
somebody that's
Yeah.
filling that hole, and you're like, what the fuck?
It's like no, you don't need that dude. It's like
Like
and you need
RuPaul
him. Oh,
says,
you only need him there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
RuPaul says.
yeah, you gotta love yourself
Yeah.
before you can love somebody
Yeah. If you
else.
can't love yourself,
Then how the
how the hell
hell?
are you gonna love somebody
Yeah,
else?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Like and
get,
she needs fucking we need fucking RuPaul in
yeah,
these movies.
Rue, she's gonna just show
We need
up in
Mama Rue.
the newest movie. She's gonna just show up and be like, how y'all fucking stupid?
Yeah, we have RuPaul in these movies that fucking turn
Yeah.
that shit
Come on,
around.
Rue. Like,
Yeah.
we're rooting for you here.
Like let's get the remake of these movies going.
Oh my god, that'd
Yeah.
be hilarious. So yeah, no, I do agree with that too. So all right,
The thing I like about this movie is when RuPaul comes in the remake.
she already had hers.
Yeah, she already done had hers.
That'd be awesome. What did you like though? This is actually a hard one for me.
So it's they didn't go as far as they could with it, and you kind of tapped on this a little bit, but I did like that they depicted some of the indigenous cultures of that area. I thought it was really interesting. They they tried to give it some attention, but like they also give it like some short shrift because they focus on like the supernatural elements that aren't
Yeah.
really real. But I did like that they focused some time. We talked about this a little bit on when we talked about Prey a few weeks ago.
Mhm.
Like they focus on like the indigenous tribes and indigenous peoples in those areas, and just kind of acknowledging that hey, these other people have been here and they've been here a long time, and they
Yeah.
were kind of here first. So I thought that was really interesting with that focus there. But also the I did read some stuff as we're getting ready to record. I was like they also they never really paid the filmmakers never really paid those people to use like their names and like all their culture and stuff like that. So
Of course not.
yeah. It's like, oh yeah.
I would say probably what I enjoyed was I thought the animation was pretty good on this one. Looking at the werewolves, I thought they looked pretty good.
But they did a really good job with the hair
Yeah.
physics. I actually was looking at the hair
Yeah.
on the wolves, and I was like, they actually did a pretty good job with that.
The hair, the
For 2010.
yeah, and like whenever like they'd zoom into the eyes and just like stuff like that where it looked really, really good. So they did a good job there.
It's funny because I looked at my after that, I was like, is that supposed to be are we supposed to recognize that it's a human eye versus a dog eye? So I went and looked at my dog's eyes, and I was like, they look the same. So it's like, is she supposed to recognize that's Jacob just by the eyes?
I think like the emotional connection of looking into the eyes. I don't fucking know. So I mean, I felt like the animation got a lot better in this one in general.
You have the Benny Hill running up the hill scene.
Yeah. I don't know. Besides that, I do. Like I said earlier, though, I do like that. I feel like Bella kind of started feeling like an actual character versus like a dead shell kind of
Mhm.
thing. And that and like a few other characters. I mean, even Jacob, like granted, he wasn't in a lot of the first one, but I do feel like his character, he felt more comfortable too in this second one. So maybe it really is kind of like a mixture of maybe they changed up how they approached on the writing and directing of it on top of the characters. One, I mean, obviously they're older, they're a little bit more experienced.
It was a different director.
It was a different. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what
the
it is.
director of
Then.
the first movie, she had to drop out because she had conflicting. She like was directing something else.
Mm.
Yeah.
So maybe it was the directing then. Maybe that's what helped out. I'm not sure, but I do feel like the characters in general felt a little bit better to me.
Yeah.
Obviously it's still the same characters where you're still kind of just annoyed by them in general because they're them. But you know, maybe it's gonna make it easier. I really hope on this third one we get a little bit more just information and just I don't know. I feel like we almost need to go back to Jacob. That's my biggest complaint. I'm sorry. I can't get past over it.
Sounds like somebody's Team Jake.
I want to be. And I think that's the hard part is like I want to be, but they're not giving me enough to be that.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest that's my big issue. So there we go. All right. So cheers or party foul?
I am Team Party Foul. this movie's connective tissue. I guess it's necessary, but I feel like they could have done so much more with it. It's the plot is just scattershot. It's just the flow is weird. We're in Washington State, like for the majority of it, and then we're all of a sudden in like it's Italy. They could have like had it
Yeah.
like they could have had like the head vampires be like somewhere closer by, so like where it's reasonable.
Yeah. And it very much feels story cut, story cut,
Yeah,
story cut.
yeah. It's like you just have this like interlude there. It's just random. It's just like it just doesn't flow very well. Maybe it makes more sense because they hint on they hint a little bit that there's like these guys when they do the Romeo and Juliet scene. They hint about the Volturi
Yeah.
a little bit earlier, but you just kind of like leave that plot thread there, and then they just pick it up randomly and just like yank the hell out of it.
Yeah.
It's like they could have like streamlined that a little bit more. I feel like
Mhm.
I don't know.
No, I'm there with you. I do feel like it's a party foul. Obviously, I've shared my feelings about most of my issues. I won't go about Jacob, but it is the same thing of just it felt very story wise, almost like harsh in a sense.
Yeah,
Um, it just a lot of different things like that. But I mean, again, like to me, it's compared to the last one, it's a little bit more on the party foul just because of how much it does feel like a filler and how much they don't give. I think not just the Jacob, but each story that they have in there, they just didn't give it the time it needed.
yeah.
Um, so out of the ranking, I would say this one is second. I would put the first movie above this one.
All right, is it better or worse than Robot Jocks?
Oh,
It's a random
I
question.
would watch Robot Jocks again
Yeah,
versus this.
I really enjoyed Robot Jocks, so
Yeah,
it's really no contest for me.
we got Chainsaw Dick. So,
Chainsaw Dick.
so
Oh
how would you
man,
rank this one? Would you rank this second?
this will be part 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll
So,
see we'll see what episode 3 has for us, and then we'll go from there.
yeah, I really hope it's better. I mean, I really hope story wise. And give us some more Jacob. Give us some more Jacob. I mean, look at those abs.
Hey, he spent the entire second half of the movie like with no shirt on. So
And it was always raining too. He was nice, wet, and nabby. You're like, what? Anyways,
yeah, I really enjoy me some Batman. So
facts. All right. What did you think of this beer? What did you think of the second one?
I didn't get any. It's gone.
No. I must have drank it all by myself.
No, it's really good. I enjoyed I enjoyed it. I'm not I keep talking about this. I'm really not a huge fan of American IPAs. So whenever I find one, I'm always really impressed. But yeah, the Fractal, I really enjoyed it. I'd have to give this one a 3.5.
I agree with the 3.5 for sure. I loved it though. I thought it was so good. Again, it's not the style I normally lean towards as well, but yeah, for the style, I thought it
Yeah.
was a great job. Really good job.
It's not a Texas beer, so I have to give a penalty. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But really, Equilibrium, their stuff, every time I've had it, I've never been disappointed. So they have their stuff on tap nearby. So we went not too long ago and had to get
Yeah.
off tap. So
Brew City is always good. Any place where you have multi taps, place with multiple taps from multiple different breweries is always good. So
that's true. So all right. Do you have a thing of the week?
yeah, I already mentioned it. Futurama.
Okay, there we go.
Futurama. I have not watched it this week, but that's my default thing of the week. Definitely go see Futurama. I think they're actually they're getting ready to make another season. They announced recently. I think it's partially because Disney picked up the property when they bought Fox. So I don't know if it's gonna be on Hulu or Disney Plus or what have you. But all the original actors are coming back. John DiMaggio, who plays Bender, the guy who plays Fry, I forget his name. Leela, everybody, they're all coming back. It's basically a story that takes place in the year 3001 and goes forward from there. I think it goes out to like 3000 and like, well, it'd be 3022 at this point. It follows year for year, but you're in the year 3000. Yeah, it's a really enjoyable story. It's a episode of the week, like problem of the week thing until it gets to the back half of the series. Then it becomes kind of like a more cohesive story. And then they did the series and movies after they canceled the full show. Like little but like they're not really movies. They're like 4 episodes strung together into one like narrative.
Right.
But yeah, Futurama, my thing of the week. It's really good. I'll probably go back and watch some of those episodes now.
Nice.
Yeah.
So mine's another music. So, okay, as a lot of
I
y'all
like me a
know,
music.
huh?
I like me a music.
Yeah, me too. A lot of y'all know, like, I started my business. I work from home, so I sit here and I just listen to music pretty much all day long. So, of course, you guys know we've talked about Dark Razard before. He does all of our music now that we play. It's through him because it's royalty free. He makes stuff all the time. Came out with a new album called Bodacious. So this episode, last episode, and probably until he makes a new album, we'll be playing music as our intro and outro from him. I think it's a great album. It's fun. It kind of almost feels very old school
Bodacious?
video game. Yeah, bodacious.
Quite bodacious.
Yeah.
Cowabunga dudes.
I like this one. He has a few of them too that feel like you're playing. It's just listening to it makes you think like old school video games kind of a feel. And I know that he's mentioned that he's coming out with one that's going to be a blues album, so that'll be
really?
interesting. And me and him have been in some talks because I play drums here and there, so I've been looking at trying to get some electric ones. He's like, "Hey, if I send you a track, will you play something over it?" So that'd be kind of fun. So again, so yeah, look up Dark Razard. He also streams Monday through Friday on Twitch.
Yeah, that's DarkRazard
Mhm.
ZARD.
Kind of like Charizard.
Yeah.
So like yeah. So.
Yeah. Delta Alpha Romeo, Kilo Romeo, Alpha Zulu. Oh, Alpha India. I cannot spell for the life of me. Alpha India, Zulu, Alpha Romeo, Delta. Yeah.
There you go.
That's a skill.
So yeah, that's my thing of the week. Check him out because yeah, it's good stuff to put on while you're working. At least it is for me. So, so do you remember what our next one is even called? Our next freaking Twilight movie?
I get so confused on these. I think it's Eclipse.
Is it Eclipse or?
I think it goes Eclipse.
Yes,
and
it's Eclipse.
We saw the first two, then it goes Eclipse, Breaking Dawn 1, and then Breaking Dawn 2.
Yeah, that's right. And then I don't know what the last one is, but
yeah, I think it's Breaking Dawn is like the last two.
How did Eclipse get a 5.0? That is ridiculous.
It better live up to it. But then again,
5.5, 5. I don't.
Okay, that's out of 10.
Oh yes, it is out of 10. Okay, that's better. That's better. I was okay. 5's yeah, that makes more sense.
What did New Moon get?
New Moon got 4.7.
Okay, the world seems more correct now.
Yeah, all right, we feel a little bit better. I thought they were higher.
Yeah, you thought it was out of 5, then I saw like it's like a 5.5.
Yeah,
it's like oh shit.
All right, talk us out of here with all our socials.
Oh, so you can find us on Facebook at Let's Do a Podcast. We got videos, we got posts, we got stuff. You can find us on also Twitter at Let's Tweet a Pod, Instagram at Let's Instapod. You can find us on YouTube at Let's Do a Podcast. You can also find us there on PartyCast Network. Find us on Twitch at PartyCast Network. You can find us on email at Let's Do a Podcast 22 at gmail.com. You can find us at our respective areas that we are standing. Good luck finding us. You cannot find me.
That's right. If you want to send us any beer, or not send us beer. I mean, if you want to try to send us beer, you can, but it's illegal. If
we already talked about this, do not mail beer.
Don't. Yeah. Wink, wink. If there's a beer you want us to try, hit us up. Let us know. We'll look for it. We'll see if we can find it. If there's a movie or a movie series you guys are interested in us doing, let us know. We're open. We're open to try anything.
We're gonna need something after we finish this in a few weeks. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got this. Then we have Halloween. Then we got Christmas. So then we need pretty much stuff for the new year.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So actually, if you have Halloween movies or Christmas movies that you guys want us to do, we'll do those.
Also, our Thanksgiving Palooza. We got to find something that's not as terrible as last year's.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you next week. Sadly, but not sadly for
happily for you, sadly for us.
So thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm Ryan.
I'm Anthony.
See you later, spider monkeys.